on the energy markets. I'm now joined by Alex Booth, Head of Research at Kpler. Hi Alex, thanks for joining us. So, the price of oil has headed up towards $80 a barrel in recent days. Goldman Sachs is predicting 90 by the end of the year. What's your forecast?
So we certainly think that the constructive sentiment should continue. We think there's a lot of positive factors that are going to continue to support crude prices here. As you mentioned earlier, potential headwinds with Chinese demand, the general macroeconomics data coming out from the country aren't fantastic. That said, we're seeing good recovery elsewhere. We're seeing India progress. Europe is still developing nicely as the vaccination rates have climbed, and whilst there are some concerns about vaccination rates in the US, the overall picture is well supported. So by and large, I'm in agreement with what Goldman Sachs is saying. Can we hit 90? Very easily. Should we stay at this kind of generally supported level? Yes. I don't see much reason to the downside from where we are here, really.
So how soon, or how much maybe, will that price rise filter through to prices at the pump for Americans?
So I think from an American pump price point of view, there's more at play from what's happened in the Gulf of Mexico following on from the most recent hurricane and the knock-on impact in the refining sector there. Now, in the EIA data, we are seeing a resumption not only in the crude supply, but also the refinery utilization, refinery runs. That will normalise products in the region. That said, we have seen a bit of a structural change. We've lost about 1 million barrels a day of refining capacity compared to last year. So, yes, you'll see a resumption in the short term of refining, but in the long run, you could see the prices kind of gradually supported or steadily supported, even going forwards.
You mentioned all that lost refining capacity. We know that the US government is trying to get OPEC to pump more, but when is the rest of the US oil production that we saw before the pandemic going to come back online?
So that's going to be a much more gradual resumption. So you say short term, we still have a lot to come back post-IDA. That's been picking up in the last couple of weeks. In the data that we're expecting next week, we should be back to normal. But as you say, increasing other US production, kind of shale production, onshore production, is going to take a lot longer. We're expecting somewhere in the region of kind of 60, 70,000 barrels a day progressive supply month on month going forwards. But it's going to be a while until producers can really work through the debt overhang that they have, work through the hedging that they have, and start to open up production. So that's really going to change the next year rather than the short-term factor.
Okay, thanks so much for that. Alex Booth, Head of Research at Kpler.